So Rich Lowry is here, as I mentioned. He's editor of National Review. And boy, what a firestorm you caused with the Against Trump cover. He's not happy. He says you're a dying publication, and Bill Buckley, the founder of National Review, would be ashamed of you. What's the response, Ben?
Well, it's been incredible, and we love it. We exist to create debate and controversy, and there have been a lot of conservatives who reached out to us all day who really thought this needed to be said and are glad we said it, and then there have been a few critics as well.
So, and the critics are, I mean, for example, Rush Limbaugh came out and said, this is misplaced because you overestimate the degree of conservatism in the Republican Party.
He could be right. If he is right, it's profoundly depressing. And our mission is to hold up this banner and put this flag in the ground for principled conservatism, whether it's popular or not. And in fact, sometimes the less people want to hear something, the more important it is for us to say it. That's why Bill Buckley created National Review in the first place.
There was an interesting moment today. Well, of course, Trump said that publication is failing and it's dying and all that. It was amusing to see that in April of 2015, Trump sent out the following tweet. Really important to save National Review from going out of business. We need a true conservative voice. So he liked you back then. He's...
Well, I appreciate his concern for his health, but I'll assure him we're doing just fine. And if we're so irrelevant, why does he spend so much time obsessed with what we're saying and criticizing us and our writers? Just look at his Twitter feed. But Trump invoking Bill Buckley is so ironic, because Bill Buckley actually wrote about him in 2000 and said he's a narcissist and a demagogue, and not much has changed in 15 years, I'd argue.
He came out and suggested that Donald Trump, when he looks at a glass, he is mesmerized by its reflection. If he were shaped a little differently, he would compete for Miss America. And he went on to really say some unfortunate things.
If Trump had had a Twitter feed in 2000, Bill Buckley would have been a loser.
So let me ask you this, because people have come out and said, look, conservatism is alive and well. You know, just today we had the March for Life in Washington, D.C., and people brave these incredible temperatures.
Right.
They go outside, they do it every year to march for their principles, and they're still there and they still mean it. And yet some of these very same people, they believe in Donald Trump, even though he may not be a conservative, Rich, and if he is, as the people in your piece argue, he's a recent convert.
Yeah, well, I just think that belief in Trump is misplaced. And look, I take everything that Frank said. I agree with the power of Trump as a communicator. There are important lessons he has for the Republican Party, but he's a deeply flawed vessel himself. And I believe if he gets the nomination, he's perfectly capable of turning around and saying, you know what, I'm really not that conservative. Look, even National Review criticized me, and I'm just a moderate who wants to get things done and cut deals. And that's exactly the kind of Republicans the right have been trying to reject.
What's interesting about that is just today he sort of came out and suggested maybe the establishment is not so bad. You know, he's sort of been this insurgent, and here's what he said in Nevada earlier.
You know what? There's a point at which let's get to be a little establishment. We got to get things done, folks, okay? Believe me, don't worry. We're going to make such great deals.
Yesterday. So we've got to get along with folks. We've got to be more establishment, which is a very different sounding message than before. Right.
And so you're hearing the beginning of it, and there's this interesting dance going on where Trump's beginning to sound like that, and the establishment is beginning to warm up to him. And it's crazy to me. The establishment was going to fight Trump, then they decided no, they couldn't really get it together, and now they're surrendering without a shot being fired.
Who
and there's some of
are the establishment? I mean, like, Krauthammer is not, you know.
Well, it's consultants, it's lobbyists, it's elected officials, it's senators. One person on another network actually said, the voters have spoken. Meaning, we just shouldn't criticize Trump, and we should just let it go, which is crazy. It's 10 days before an election. There's reasons why we have caucuses and primaries. It may be that this race is completely static and it's effectively over. I kind of doubt it. I bet it's still fluid, and there are plot twists to come.
They said that there are a lot of late deciders, especially in Iowa, so, you know, it's definitely not over there. I mean, nobody's cast a single vote yet, so we shall see.
Just wait till the National Review readers turn out in Iowa.
Okay. Rich, great to see you.
Great seeing you.
He likes to cause trouble.